Hey Moon Magic Super Souls, welcome to today's readings. We are asking today for an immediate message that Spirit wishes to give you right here and right now, and then we're also going to draw some more cards to get detail about what is happening in the next 7 days, the next week. I post these readings every single Sunday without fail, so there is always a weekly message, a touching base with your spirit team and the heads up really for the coming week. We're going to draw 3 cards together. I'm seeing this one actually, and this, and also this. These are the cards I'm seeing for us today. And I'll draw a rune and a charm as well. We've got some fabulous cards today, big cards and little cards we're using, with a few in between as well. Beautiful souls, thank you for joining me. It is so good to read for you. It is such a privilege. Thank you so much, all of you, and welcome to anyone new. So let's have a look. We have pile 1. We have the 10 of Hearts. What a beautiful energy. I'm feeling all tingly about doing these readings now. So we have the 10 of Hearts for pile 1. We have Hansel and Gretel for pile 2. And then for pile 3, oh wow, we have the Guide of Crystals. This just looks to be a really groovy week, I'm going to say, given that this is a weekly reading. To be fair, it's timeless. You could be coming to this at any time. But wow. Anyway, I'm saying no more. We must wait until we get into the readings. I'm itching now to do them. So I'm going to draw the charm and the rune together. One hand in each. So pile 1, you have the rune of initiation. Okay, this is Perth, and you have a swallow. It's either a swallow or a swift. Okay, then we have the rune of protection. This is Algiz, and then you have a beautiful heart. This is pile 2, and pile 3. We have a pair of glasses, okay, and we have the rune of journey, Rado. Okay, so, right, beautiful souls, let me just position the runes here. I'm going to leave the charms, I think, where they are. Super souls, I'm going to leave the video running for just a few moments longer in case you need a little bit more time. Sometimes more than one reading may be speaking to you, and to be fair, if you ever find you're in one and it's just not resonating, it may just be that it's not the right reading. But sometimes one will be really leaping out, at other times it'll be more than one. Trust your gut feeling. If you need a little bit more time, you can always press the pause button, but I will leave the video running for a few moments longer. Beautiful souls, I am dead excited about doing these readings, so I'm going to be still and quiet, let the video run on for a few moments, and then I will see you in the readings. Tons of love. Hey, pile 1, what a stunning card to begin your message and your week as well. These readings are feeling exciting. I don't really know how better to say it, but there's a real tingle of positivity in the air. Now we have Perth, the rune of initiation. I'm really tuning in with this rainbow straight away. It feels like actually like a gateway. This is what I'm seeing, a gateway to something, stepping through something. With the swallow, the swift, that was coming through, you know, as I drew this charm. I found myself thinking of something happening swiftly, quickly, passing through something. This rune of initiation, sometimes it's a bit like a rite of passage, but you're stepping through a gateway from one place to another. But it feels so alive, positive, beautiful, vibrant. Abundant is a word that's coming to mind. What do we have for your cards? Wow, so we have the 7 of Cups. We have the Knight of Swords. And we have the Page of Pentacles. Wow. This really feels like a lot of very vibrant energy. I use the word abundance, and I do feel like something is coming in swiftly here. Very interesting with the Knight of Swords. The Page of Pentacles looks utterly joyous, really chirpy. Lots of choices here. I feel with the Knight of Swords there's a need to make some decisions fast, swiftly. I think you might be making some significant, well, I say significant, but choices this week. Let's draw more cards. We want to hear the first message. What is the first message that Spirit is bringing you? Choices, decisions, beneficial outcomes. May we have more information, please? What is the primary message, the immediate message that pile number 1 need to hear right here and right now? May we have a card for pile number 1? I feel we're getting 2 cards here, actually. Let's look at these. We have Pisces, sensitive, and Juno, partnership. Okay. How interesting. We've got the 2 fishes here. Juno, partnership, Pisces, sensitive. With the 10 of Hearts. This is a card of commitment, sometimes of love. It's the 10 of Cups in a traditional pack. All these pots of gold here. And the 7s are about choices, making decisions. Yes, your message is, your primary message is to do with making a commitment to something. A clear-cut commitment, a course of action. This is your primary message, pile 1. There's a course of action. There's something that you need to commit to this, I want to say this week actually, and see it through. Make a decision, commit to it, and sort of stick to it. That's what I'm seeing. There's something that out of many different potential choices that are in front of you, there's a gateway to pass through. What is interesting is you're going to sail through it. You're going to fly through it. There's something that needs to be attended to, a single thing over and above the others. And literally you will sail through it, like sailing through this rainbow. It's a commitment to something. It could be a commitment to someone. I feel more that it is a commitment to a something rather than a someone, though it could be that you commit to, I don't know, let's say you were looking at different people to work with, to collaborate with, and you've got choices. It's making a commitment to the right one. Yeah, there's definitely a partnership with something. You making a commitment. This is your primary message, pile 1. Make a commitment to the thing that you know you need to prioritize and stick with it. It's incredibly beneficial for you. You're going to love doing it. It's the thing that feels like it's uppermost for you at the moment. We all have times when we have to make commitments to different things or work out how best to schedule our time and even our attention as well. Literally scheduling our attention, recognizing where we're placing our attention. Because where we place our attention is what we're creating. This is very beneficial for you to be very focused on one thing and one thing only. If it is a relationship, then perhaps that is something you need to bring to the fore, and that's your priority, and it is your priority energy, your priority attention. It doesn't mean there won't be other things, but I am really seeing a really strong message from Spirit saying, and I think you know what it is, there is one thing that you need to focus on right here and right now. Focus on it, get to it. You're going to sail through this, literally, you're going to fly through it. You're going to breeze it. And it's very beneficial for you. Very, very beneficial. Now, what else are we shown? Can we be given any more information about the week ahead? I did say we're using big cards and little cards, and some in between. I'm seeing this and this. What other information do we have? Okay, so we've got the 5 of Pentacles. Okay. We have the 6 of Cups. We have the Emperor. We have the Hanged Man. We have the 3 of Swords. And then we have the Death card. Right, let's see if I can move these along. Bear with me. There, pile 1, I hope you can now see everything. So, as already said, your primary message, something needs your full attention and focus. And it's like you're getting the heads up because it's ever so beneficial. You've got a really beneficial outcome. And we're also being told this is you're going to breeze it. It's going to be easy for you. You might find as the week progresses that initially you feel a little bit like you're kind of want to say sort of out in the cold a little bit. But almost as if you feel like, I almost want to say like you've bitten off more than you can chew. Or that the thing that you're committing to, you're struggling to commit to it, or you feel like you can't manage everything. Almost like what do you do first? But there is a priority. This is the really clear message for you. There's something you need to prioritize on and give it your full focus. With the 6 of Cups, I'm not only seeing that it's going to be beneficial to you, but genuinely I think once you get stuck into it, once you make the commitment and you decide, right, this is the week, I'm giving this my full focus, this is what I'm doing, and you kind of like basically really commit to it with the Emperor energy, you take charge of your schedule, this is what you're going to do. At the exclusion of everything else, you're going to give it your complete and utter full focus. I think you're going to suddenly find that you love it. You know, when you sort of commit to it and you just do it, and because you're fully involved in the energy of it, it becomes actually quite easy. This is not as difficult as you anticipate. I think you're feeling as if you're never going to achieve it, or you won't be able to get it done, or that there are too many demands on your time to be able to give your full focus to the one thing that needs to be your greatest priority. But your spirit team are saying to you, look, you can do this. You'll literally break the back of this week, whatever it is. You'll get through it, and you'll pass through this sort of gateway, and you'll suddenly realize it wasn't that difficult. You're literally going to get to a gateway where you're through it. And even if this is a project, for example, once you get to the other end of this week, you'll realize that a lot of your concerns were unnecessary. You've really literally broken the back of it. You've kind of achieved what you needed to achieve. And you're really going to feel the benefit of this. I think initially there's just a bit of concern and worry about it, quite frankly. Almost a feeling of being torn between the different things. But whatever this priority is for you, and I believe you know what it is, whatever it is, it's time to give it your full 100%. The moment you start, you're actually going to love it. The moment you almost, I feel like, give yourself permission to hold that focus through and through. The moment you give yourself that permission, it will cease to feel like a battle, and it's going to emerge. Literally, the signs will be shown to you. I always feel with the Hanged Man, we're given exactly the signs we need when we need them. And with the Three of Swords, it's to move something forwards. And with the Death card, it's that point of transformation. We cross through that gateway. We cross through that rainbow. Pile 1, your reading is very clear this week. I think you know what the priority is, whatever it is for you. It could be that that project, that commitment, that area of your life. Could be an extremely big spring cleaning. It could be anything, because this is a generic reading. But there is something you need to prioritize. It could be the love of your life, and you commit and go on holiday for a week at the expense of all else. You didn't think you could, but you do, and it's amazing. Whatever this is, whatever the conflict you feel around allocating this week to do this thing or to have this thing, do it. This is your message from Spirit. You are going to breeze it. It's going to be fabulous. You're going to love every second once you commit. Whatever you need to see will be shown along the way. I feel it's less of a relationship and more of a commitment that we're being shown here, but for some of you it could be. But yeah, you're going to literally fly through it. You'll sail through it. And you will feel so rich at the end of the week, because you will have achieved so much. And you're therefore, by the end of the week, in a position to, it's not exactly putting it behind you, but yeah, you know when you're about to start something and it just feels daunting, and then you finally commit to it, all the what ifs that show up at the beginning of anything, you finally commit to it, you make a commitment, you clear the decks, you clear your diary, you go for it, and you know what? It's fab. The moment you're involved in it, it flows, and by the end of the week, I think you're going to be in that place where you just think, oh, I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. And it feels like you actually somehow overcome something in the process of this. You're certainly really in a position to then move something ahead the week after. And as we are fast approaching eclipse season, when things can happen very quickly, I think for some of you, whatever you do this week and whatever you commit to, it's like a foundation stone upon which more can be built. That's definitely a message that's coming through for some of you as well. Pile 1, this is your reading. Thank you so much for joining me. It's an absolute joy to read for you. If you're interested in any of my other readings, do check out the Moon Magic Weekly Tarot homepage, subscribe as well, and press the little bell icon if you'd like to get notification of any of my readings. I post pick a card readings 2 or 3 times a week, and we have some big stuff coming up in the coming week, depending on when you're watching this. Obviously you could be watching this in 6 months time. These are timeless readings. You can always find a reading on the channel for answering a specific question or just getting some guidance, so do check them out. My all zodiac sign readings are on Patreon, which is another platform. I work with the moon month because I am passionate about manifesting with the moon. After this reading and in between, I'll post a little image of my Manifest with the Moon Astro Moon Diary and Journal covers for 2024. If you want the heads up when those are available, if you add yourself to one of my email lists, I'll send out an email when they're ready. And if there's usually a discount period, you can access them for a better price. And I usually do a workshop or a seminar around using the diaries too, and the journal, because they're kind of different. Both are about manifesting with the moon. A really good email list to be on is my subscriber email list here on YouTube, because every month I give away a free private reading and a pack of my own oracle cards. I'm not using them today, the Art of Manifestation oracle cards. If you subscribe and then add yourself to that list, I will email everybody on any of my email lists to let you know about the diary and the journal. And that's just a fab one, because you might just win a reading or some cards as well. Beautiful souls, enough of me waffling away. Have an amazingly productive week. Be focused. The messages are very clear for you, Pile 1. Tons of love. Hey, Pile 2, welcome to your reading. You have the card of Hansel and Gretel. And and also the rune of Alga's protection. This speaks of right action, of knowing that the outcome that you desire will arrive. It's like knowing that as long as you walk the right pathway, it's like a pathway of higher consciousness, that the outcome you seek will come to you. Quite a strong message coming through in that, I feel. Hansel and Gretel, the lovers in a traditional pack, Hansel and Gretel set forth into the forest. They're actually kind of abandoned, so they're put in a bit of a perilous situation, and yet they are guided, and of course they come out on top. Let's see what message you are being shown. These are your first two cards. I think we'll take another from this pack. What do we have here? So we have the Three of Wands. We then have the Nine of Wands. And then the Four of Swords. How interesting. How interesting. I feel like you are looking ahead, you're looking at something, but you're also contemplating sort of quite how to achieve it. What is the primary message that Spirit wishes to give you? What's your most important message? Let's look at this, and then we'll draw from another tarot pack. I'm seeing this card as well. What is the most important message that my pile two need? Excuse my giggling. Here am I saying you're looking ahead at something, and you have North Node, the future, and then you have Juno, partnership. How interesting, we have partnership. Okay, right. This card came out in pile one. How interesting. Who are you partnering with? I do feel in this reading there is a sense of looking ahead, looking to the future, building a partnership with someone potentially, or in a situation, and wondering, it's almost like wondering the best route to get there with the Nine of Wands. Or maybe there is a hurdle for you to engage with. What is it that you don't believe is possible, or what's getting in the way? That's what I feel like. It's like you're right at the start of something. Hansel and Gretel here are at the beginning of a journey here. The rune of protection, Algis, often speaks of moving from ultimately one position to another, literally growing together, growing in consciousness. Or growing in consciousness, not necessarily growing together. The Lovers is a card of growing together, particularly this one. Being guided through something. And doing it mindfully. I need to draw more cards. This is fascinating. What is happening for my pile two this week? Oh, okay, so we have two cards, 3, 4. I'm going to take those and let's just see how they all kind of fit. What are we showing for my pile twos? So you have the Three of Cups, beautiful, and the Two of Cups. Oh my goodness me, there's so much celebration going on. Gosh, you are at the early stages of something. You're looking ahead, you're planning. And with the rune of Algis as well, you know, sometimes it's like we're planning a journey, or we're planning a future, and needing to work out sort of how to overcome those early wobbles at the start of something. It's like teething problems. That's what's coming through. So Three of Cups, Two of Cups, Three of Pentacles, Two of Swords. Then we have the Sun. Then we have the World. And then you have the Emperor card. Fab. Right, let me move all these along a little bit. I ought to know how to fit them all in after doing reading one, but let me just move these along. Yeah. You are right at the start of something. And I want to say it's a joyous union. That's what I'm going to say. We're seeing celebration, we're seeing falling in love, we're seeing holding hands, we're seeing gazing at one another romantically. This could well be genuinely a relationship reading for some of you. Now, it could be a business partnership, it could be a connection with somebody that's not about being in love, but it's got that level of profound connection to it. There's a future in this. This is a future. I think it's really interesting because I think you know it's loaded with potential, but you're really uncertain about it at the same time. But I think this is sort of insecurities. It's those inner conflicts where you're sort of blinded by your insecurities, maybe. Well, I say blinded. This is fascinating. So, pile 2. I think either right in front of you, you may already know this person, but there is a really profound connection with someone. It's one of those connections where it makes you dream of a future, but you're in this zone of really questioning, is this possible? If you haven't yet met this person, I think you're about to, but I think for most of you, you already have met this person. But you're sort of keeping your head down. I think you kind of know what you want, but you're really not sure if it's possible. There's something like an obstacle, maybe a difference between you or something taking place. Maybe you've met them at work with the 3 of Pentacles. You've met them at work or through a particular setting that would potentially maybe make you think, well, this could be quite difficult if we really got together. What would our work colleagues think? Would it interfere with work? Or maybe there could be a conflict of interests in the meeting of this person. But it is unquestionable that they like you and you like them. So first of all, I think your reading is saying this is a real connection. Because I think you're sitting in that sort of dreaming of the future, but kind of, it would be so easy just to lie back and dream about it. But a part of you is thinking it'll never happen. One of those meetings where you just think this could be amazing, but at the same time, you want to believe that it could bring you the world, but simultaneously, you're sort of, there's definitely something in the way here. We'll perhaps draw some more cards around here. Yeah, there's something around this that makes you think it will not be possible, or you're questioning. Maybe if you've met at work and you can feel the chemistry, but at the same time, neither of you would let down that professional front, and therefore, in a way, it's blocking it, or it feels like it's a hurdle, or it means that neither of you are really showing each other how you feel. That's coming through here. Because perhaps of the environment, you're having to behave professionally, and because you're behaving extremely professionally, you're both sort of eyeing up the other person and thinking, I really like you, but he or she, whatever that is for you, can't possibly feel this way about me, because there's no real signs. And the signs are kind of there, but they're sort of hidden as well. I do think there's a possible connection or conflict of interest in some way. There's something that is stopping you from being able to really be quite open, but my goodness me, you're sleeping on it, you're dreaming on it. There is an obstacle to be overcome. That's what Hansel and Gretel do. They set forth on a journey. Their paths, well, they are brother and sister, but in this card I'm saying your paths have crossed, as it were. I think you see a future together with the heart of love. Because this is a general reading, this could be a partnership of some other sort. But to be honest, my overall flavour of the energy in your reading is that this is a love interest, actually. And if it's not a love interest and it's a friendship or a connection to a community group or even a working environment or some other aspect of your world, it will be a connection that you'll love. But there's something that you have to come through, like patience Aries speaks of having patience, doing the right thing. Yeah, it may even be that maybe this person could have an involvement with someone else and therefore there's an unavailability. It's this conflict of interest. There's something in the way. But the connection is real. Very, very real. I think we want to draw a few more cards. I mean, whether this is heading into the future or not, I do not know. But this is what's in front of you. This is the message from Spirit, really, right here and right now, is to say to you, this is actually real and you do both feel the same way. I do see a conflict of interests. And with the Four of Swords, along with Aries, I feel there's a need for patience. Maybe something has to be processed before it could fully emerge. Something has to be sort of addressed or sorted out. If we have this card of the Emperor, something has to be, sorted, addressed. If there's any kind of legalities or contracts to be signed, or you've moved to a new job and you're there and it's there, but you're not sure if it's there. Spirit is saying it is there, but maybe you have to bed down a little bit, find your feet before it can emerge with the Emperor. Let's just ask for a bit more information. I feel like I'm sneaking ahead of this week, but let's ask for a little bit of information around the potential of this. We have the Magician and the High Priestess. This is suggesting that this does have real possibility. You know, it's a guided meeting, and that this can, it's like that, the chemistry is there between you. That's the gist of it. The chemistry is there with the Magician. You know, this is one of those connections. It may be that you've met before at a level of soul. This is one of those connections. Yeah, the chemistry between you is profound. I want to ask a little bit about the coming week. I feel like your message is really clear right here and right now. And maybe it's just saying you have to be patient this week. Let it emerge. May we ask about this week right here and right now. We have the Seven of Cups. Okay, so this is a card of choice. Okay, we have the Hermit. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles. Okay. I always feel the Ten of Pentacles is a bit of a lottery win, really. So looking at this week, right here and right now, let's move these over. Looking at this week, right here and right now, I think there's a need perhaps for, on both sides, but certainly for you, to consider what you actually really want. Bearing in mind there's a potential conflict of interest, but there's massive chemistry. I think this is about contemplating how you really feel and just giving yourself time. I would venture to say to dream into the future. Allow yourself time to daydream yourself into this space of possibility. What would it actually feel like? Contemplate how this might be. Dream the future that you want to create. Bring that into your focus. I feel like nothing can happen this week in terms of it moving forwards, especially with the Hermit and also the Four of Swords here. It's like, this is like sleep on it. The initial chemistry is absolutely there. The spark is there. The connection is there. That feeling of magic is there. So that's your primary confirmation, because if you've been questioning and thinking, do they really feel something for me? Well, I think they do. What we're seeing now is to just, for this week, allow it to sort of almost like organically unfold. Give it breathing space. Allow this to, there needs to be a space of genuine discovery, but I think there will be, actually. I think you'll begin to know a bit more solidly how you feel over and above the initial emotional burst of, wow, could this be real? Do I really like this person? Do they really like me? And all of that stuff, you know, all of that kind of little dance that we do in our head. This often speaks of kind of managing your emotions, the highs as well as the lows, and not being swept along. So this is kind of saying, look, just ground yourself. Be steady in your approach. dream into the future of what you want, whilst also I feel just allow the situation to unfold. The chemistry is real. It really, really is. That's absolutely for sure. Let's just, we may not be shown, but let's just ask for a sneaky peek into maybe where this might go. Okay, we've got the Hanged Man and the Eight of Cups. This is interesting with this ship sailing. Okay, I don't know if this actually, excuse me, I don't know if this actually is a relationship of permanence. I will voice that here. It's either, there's two sides to this in terms of what I'm seeing, my beautiful souls. The one side is that maybe this is a relationship of non-permanence. I see you leaving something like that ship has sailed kind of thing. Alternatively, I feel like it would be a radical departure from the kind of world that you had imagined yourself to desire. There is something of this conflict of interest or some kind of difference, which is partly, I think you're feeling the chemistry, that there's a confirmation that it's real. Allow yourself time to really think about ultimately what you really want. Even though the chemistry is there, I'm not sure whether this person would be able to bring you what you really want. I'm not saying it's not a possibility, but I think if it is a very real possibility in real solid terms, it really would be a massive departure from potentially the hopes and dreams that you may have had for yourself. It would mean potentially walking a very different pathway, actually. Having to view things, it would turn your world upside down. Now, I'm not saying that's a negative. There's nothing wrong with that. Not saying it's a negative, but I actually feel for some of you, this would be too radical a departure, and it does feel as though you kind of know in your heart of hearts that ultimately this wouldn't be a very easy journey for you. For others, it will be, when you contemplate it, it will be, do you know what, I would do anything to be with this person. I don't care how radically my world changes. I know what I want, and you'll come out of it with a sense of commitment and a future. I think what you're being offered here in this reading, the here and now message is that the chemistry is real and it's there. And the secondary message from this is, for the way that the week pans out, is really contemplate this and think about what the long-term future would genuinely be like, and whether that is actually what you desire. Because we can be very swept along by our emotions, swept along a particular path, because that's what it feels like when the chemistry is just so magical. It feels like it's fate and destiny that brought us together. This is about actually recognizing that you have a choice in this, and there's more to this decision making than being swept along by the chemistry and the emotions of it. It's actually about really recognizing in a real way what you desire, and to think about the level of transformation that this might require to make it work. You know, compromises, I suppose, that kind of area. I always think in a relationship, a compromise should be, you know, when we get along really well with somebody, a compromise shouldn't be compromising who you are at a level of soul, or who you are as a human being. It should be compromising the stuff of every day. You know, if we're getting in a takeaway, do we order a pizza, or do we order I don't know, a Chinese, or, you know, or what kind of car do we build, do we buy? Or it's the stuff of life that we compromise over, not the essence of who you are as a human being. So this is quite interesting. There's some real food for thought being offered for you here. The primary exciting bit, it's real. The chemistry is real. It's about deciding whether this is really something you want, because of everything that would come with it. For some of you, I think it is, actually. I think this is the future that you're looking for. For others, I think it may not be. It may be that there is, you know, what's being offered, do please excuse me, what's being offered is looks amazing, feels amazing, but may not have enough of a substance for you for it to be really right, or in alignment with your own calling, for example. But I'm saying it could be either way, really truly. But Spirit is giving you the heads up about the chemistry, the realness, and the opportunity this week to reflect and consider and contemplate, and really own your own choices in this. Pile 2, what an exciting week. If this reading is resonating with you, and it could, as I said, not be the love of your life relationship-wise. It feels like a relationship reading through and through. For some of you, if it's something else, then it's about recognizing whether that fit, that match, really is the right one for you, or whether it's actually something that may not be able to give you the long-term future you desire. Whatever this is, however the energy of the reading is resonating with you and your unique circumstances. Pile 2, have an amazing week. I mean, really, truly have an amazing week. I'm reveling in your chemistry. That's just gorgeous. Thank you so much for joining me. It's an absolute gift to read for you. Do keep us posted in the comments. It is wonderful to read your comments. I can't reply to you all, but it is so lovely to read your comments, and I love the way this community here is building. You guys are amazing. So thank you so much for being here. Welcome to anyone new. I do post readings a couple of times, 2 or 3 times a week, answering specific questions, and always on a Sunday we get immediate guidance and we look at the week ahead. So, you know, these readings are here to support. If you're interested in anything that I do all zodiac sign readings according to the moon, because I'm passionate about manifesting with the moon. And you'll notice possibly in between the readings that there is a little image of next year's Manifest with the Moon, Astro Moon Diary and Journal that I create. If you're on any of my email lists, you will get notification. I'll send out an email as soon as they are ready, and there's usually a period where you can get them at a discount. So I'll let you know about those. And if you're not on an email list and you'd like to be on one, I would, while you're here on YouTube, nominate the subscriber email list, my YouTube subscriber email list, as a really good one to be on, because I give away a free private reading and a pack of my own oracle cards every single month. And if you are, it's a subscriber offer. So if you wish to subscribe, add yourself to that email list, because not only will you hear about the diary and the journal, but you might also win a reading. You never know, or a pack of cards. Or indeed, I will be giving away a journal and a diary as we head into 2024. So watch this space, beautiful souls. Tons and tons and tons of love. And I will see you again for another reading soon. Hello, pile 3. Very tingly energy. I feel like you're going to be very blessed. I've just got to say this. The rune of Rado, Journey, it contains the rune of joy. And depending on the cards and the other runes that show up in a reading, if they are particularly positive, then this rune can indicate that something is now behind you and you are free and available to receive something, a great blessing. The Guide of Crystals, which is the King of Pentacles in a traditional pack, in this particular pack speaks of blessings coming to you. We do have these glasses. Is the blessing going to be the gift of sight? Let's draw more cards. What is your first and immediate message that Spirit wishes to give you right here and right now? I am seeing this and this. And let's draw a couple from this pack as well. What is the immediate message that we need to see for you, my beautiful pile 3? And then we'll go from there. So we have Ceres Nurture. I feel this is a celebration with this, like a bunch of flowers. And then we have 7th house relationship. There's such an interesting energy around, you know, whether it's a connection to a person or a circumstance or a project or something. It feels overall like a really good week for things to be moved forwards. But for you, pile 3, I do feel there's a celebration, a blessing. Look at this hand in hand. And what do we have? The 10 of Cups. I mean, this is a joyous card of celebration. We have the Death card. Yep, something is over. and done with. It's finished. And the Page of Wands. We're in a space of new vitality, new energy, new passion. Launching into something new. Something is emerging. It's happening. A blessing. Something you really, really, really desire. But it's coming because something is over. Something's finished. It's been and done with. What are these glasses? What do we need to see? What do we need to see? How interesting in this that we have a scythe, a sickle. So although we have this beautiful harvest with this corn, a beautiful bouquet of flowers, but there's corn in there as well, and the sickle is indicating a harvest. Something is coming in, a harvest is coming in. So I don't think this is just something that's suddenly like a blessing that appears out of nowhere. I think this is a blessing from something that you've worked for. It's like you're gifted with something, but something has come to an end as well. Maybe you've completed something. It's like finishing your book and getting the publishing deal or something. That connection, that relationship, that validation. What is this about? Pile 3, let's ask. May we have a clear message for you? I do feel there is a definitive sort of double-edged clear message already, which is that something is completed, something's over and done with, it's finished, and you're in a space of new beginnings. But I sort of feel you probably know that. What is the biggest message, the most important message for pile 3, my beautiful pile 3s to be gifted with right now? And then I'll put those there. Yes, maybe ask for more information about what this week is bringing. How is this going to extend into the week? Lots of cards coming through for you, pile 3. Let's look at these first. We have the Queen of Wands. So she is a very magnificent manifester, I always feel. The Hierophant and the Star. I always feel like the Queen of Wands somehow is depicted as sort of like burning her bridges. Somehow there's flames behind her, like the curtains are drawn on something. The Hierophant. If you are going through any kind of contract or legal issues, we've got 2 people here. If there's any kind of divorce or any coming together or a mediation or something that has been a challenge, the resolution arrives this week. That's what I'm seeing, and it's behind you now. There's a turning point here. Something of a struggle that you've been having to sort of nurture along a little bit. It's come to its completion and it's now moving on. And there's a space of renewed hope, renewed optimism looking forwards. So whatever this is for you, I think this is a situation you're fully aware of. You've had to kind of nurture it along, maybe even tread carefully. You've had to work at it, you've had to progress, you've had to think thoughtfully about how you process it. It's like it comes together. And because of that, there's now a space of being able to kind of, you're free to move forwards, you're free to move on. We then have the Ace of Pentacles. We have the 5 of Wands. Right, there's been some conflict, some battle, some arguments around something. Yeah, maybe arguments over money or resources, something quite practical, just a disagreement about something, about how to do something. Or yeah, for some of you, if there is a divorce or something like that, or an agreement or a contract, working out how much something costs, haggling over things. Maybe it had got a little bit stuck. Very mindful as these cards came out. Actually, so did these initially, and then we drew more. So we then have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Four of Wands, lovely. We have the Empress. Okay, so this is lovely. This is a lovely week for you. An absolutely lovely week. You've had to journey, you've had to work at something. You've come through a journey, and basically this week you're out the other side. Look at this, we have the Fool card. Yeah, there's been a lot of heartache along the way, to be quite honest with you. Something that was giving you quite a lot of grief is coming to an end this week. And because it comes to an end, it's like there's a decision made about it. Whatever felt like it was at a stalemate, it's moved on. If you've been stuck waiting for, I don't know, it's like waiting for a job offer and not knowing what's happening and when it's happening, and then suddenly it's all kind of resolved and sorted. And you're now able to feel less, you're able to see clearly how to move forwards. I think that's what these are. I feel like I want to put these glasses, okay, on the Hanged Man down here. I want to place them on his little face. This is what I feel like. If I could sort of move them around and put them on these different figures so that you can see. So you can actually see, it's like you can see the signs. Ah, yes, okay. Beautiful souls, you know how retrospectively there's a way, a hindsight, that's saying hindsight is a wonderful thing, okay? And sometimes we can look back and think, do you know, the way I viewed that at the beginning, I thought it was going to be amazing, but hindsight now tells me that the signs were there. And if I'd really listened to the signs early on, I probably wouldn't have proceeded down that pathway, but I did, and now I've had to sort it. This has got that flavour about it. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. This is one of those scenarios where actually you're never going to make the same mistake again. I think you ended up in a conflict or a difficult situation with someone. Retrospectively, I think right at the start, you probably could have seen quite clearly what was going on. I think there were signs there, but we don't always read those signs, and this is not voiced as a criticism in any way, shape or form. This is not voiced as a criticism. We all learn through these things. If we understood that, you know, a mistake is a joy and a gift because we learn from it, then the world would be a much better place. But something whereby you entered into something kind of maybe with slightly rose-coloured glasses on, or maybe feeling a little bit naive about something. You took something on face value, and it proved to be quite disappointing. There may even have been a level of underlying aggression or just bad behaviour. But this is reaching a point. It's reached a turning point. It's like it's finally come to a close. It's finally reached its conclusion. It's never going to happen again. And what I'm seeing here is that something comes in to show you visibly that it's over. Now, this could be literally the signing of a contract and something's completed, and therefore you can move on in a very real way. But I also think there'll be a sign, something's going to be shown to you that allows you to know that you simply don't have to worry about this anymore. If you almost felt like you were jinxed or something was still following you round, this is the week when something comes to you that confirms to you that that journey is over, that chapter is over. Whatever it is that comes, you're going to be celebrating because it sets you free. It enables you to follow your dreams. It enables you to follow your dreams, to start afresh, to leap into the new, unencumbered by something. That's what I'm really seeing here. Something is going to be shown to you this week. So your primary message from Spirit, my beautiful pile 3, is a confirmation and an affirmation that something that has given you quite a lot of difficulty, heartache, uncertainty, however that is in the uniqueness of your world, it's come to an end. I think you know it's come to an end, but there's something of it that's lingered. And I think what happens this week is that you get some form of confirmation, and it's an absolute blessing. It's the blessing you have longed for, the confirmation, the piece of news, the actual outcome that says, do you know what, this is totally now behind me, I can move on, and you are going to celebrate this. You're going to celebrate. It gives you a new beginning. It puts you in a space of renewed hope, renewed possibility. You can look ahead. You're not encumbered by this anymore. Now, I don't know what that news is, but it's something that I think is significant. It's a very real piece of news. So it could be like a contract is signed, but it could be a message or whatever it is. But it shows you, with those glasses, it shows you that this is finally done, dusted, over with. You don't have to worry about it anymore. You're free to move on. So something that has been lingering, clinging, leaving you in a place where somehow you weren't energetically fully available to embrace, well, the life that you want for yourself. This is a very, very interesting reading, pile 3. It's really coming through very strongly. It's such a blessing. It really is. It's like a weight off your shoulders, a weight off your mind, freedom to journey forwards, to move to the next chapter of life. This is lovely because I feel you've really, really worked and waited for this. I really do. I really do. Pile 3, this is your reading. Beautiful souls. I'm sorry that you've been through quite a lot of something that hasn't felt good, and I can really get that. But this really is the turning point. And I'm so glad that Spirit is saying to you there will be something to confirm this. Because sometimes we do need a piece of real evidence to allow us to, it sets us free to just know that we can finally move on from something. And that's very much around this week for you. My beautiful pile 3, I'm sending you all the love in the world. Thank you for joining me. If this is resonating with you, do like, share, subscribe. All of these things really do help to support the channel. You possibly will notice, and you'll see at the end of this video, a little image of next year's Manifest with the Moon, Astro Moon Diary and Journal. I'm very passionate about manifesting with the moon. My all zodiac sign readings work with the moon month because of my passion for manifesting with the moon. And they're on a different platform. They're on Patreon. I mean, do check them out if you wish to. There are no tie-ins with Patreon. You donate as little or as much as you want, and you know, you can check it out, come and go as you please. But if you're interested in the diary or the journal for next year, they work very differently, but they're all about manifesting with the moon, obviously. If you're on any of my email lists, I will let you know as soon as they are available. I'll send out an email, and because there's usually a discount period when they're first available. We are heading towards the end of the year, which is when they go live. So if you're passionate about manifesting with the moon, or you're interested, make sure you're on one of my email lists so you get those notifications. And an extremely good one to be on if you're on YouTube and you're part of our Moon Magic community here is, I have a subscriber prize draw. Every month I give away a free private reading and also a pack of oracle cards, of my own oracle cards. And as we head to the end of the year, I will give away a diary and a journal as well. So it's a fab list to be on, because not only will you get to hear about the diary and the journal if you wish to, but you could also win a pack of cards or a private reading as well. So do check all of these things out. I'll put all the links in the description box and a pinned comment. Pile 3, have an amazing week. I just think this is going to be like, literally, relief is the word that comes to mind. And it's such a blessing. It's like freedom to move forwards. I almost want to say at last. Oh, it feels like a joy. And I actually wanted to just breathe out then. It was like, whew, I can breathe out at last. That's the energy around your reading, pile 3. Sending you the biggest hug ever. I look forward to seeing you for another reading really soon. Tons of love, pile 3.